Question 9 is a pretty old question. It is set in 2007. This question also set some students back because they found it quite difficult, or rather, maybe their answer or presentation was incomplete. So, you are given 3 types of oxides and you are supposed to describe the reactions you would carry out to determine the identity of which oxide is which. It is almost like trying to find out how do you actually distinguish between the 3 types of oxides. So let's delve a little bit further. So we know that in terms of the 3 types of oxides, we know that MgO is a basic oxide, Al2O3 is an amphoteric oxide, whereas for SiO2, it is basically an acidic oxide. So therefore, based on this information, we know that we can use acids and bases to distinguish them. So the first thing that we can do is that we can do this question by elimination. So the first step that we do is, to all the oxides, we can basically add aqueous acid. So when we add aqueous acid, I hope you can appreciate that the only oxide that will dissolve is actually MgO as well as Al2O3. So we definitely know that SiO2 will not dissolve because acidic oxide will not react with the acid. So therefore, if the PPT remains insoluble or the white powder remains insoluble, we know that it is SiO2. Okay, so if the white powder dissolves, we know that it is either MgO, which is your basic oxide, or Al2O3, which is your amphoteric oxide. So now that we have actually eliminated SiO2, what we can do is that we can now decide what can we do to distinguish MgO as well as Al2O3. So what we can do is that to both of them, we can add aqueous NaOH. So do recall that MgO is a basic oxide, whereas for Al2O3, it is an amphoteric oxide. So therefore, if we were to react it with a base, we know that Al2O3 will dissolve, whereas MgO will not dissolve. So in this case over here, if we look at option 1, if the white powder dissolves, we know that the solution is Al2O3, and from there we can write out what is the balance equation when this reaction happens. Likewise, if we were to react MgO with NaOH, we know that the white PPT will remain insoluble because MgO, being a basic oxide, will not react with a base. So these are the steps that you would take to distinguish between the 3 oxides.